What's up, everybody? This is your Flash Black, Flash Black, and I'm Black. Uh, I guess I know all you anime fans out there are pretty excited about what's coming up tomorrow. It's Toonami, that's the big thing on everyone's mind. Is Toonami's coming back? Toonami's back! Yay! 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 And I'm excited for it too, but I do have some concerns. Maybe I don't really know. I guess I guess it's better for me to get on here now and do it before I do my review if I'm actually going to do a review or not, and just kind of express myself on the whole Toonami situation at the moment. So back when I was in elementary school, all of us who were in the '90s, all of us who grew up in the '90s, we know what Toonami is. We grew up watching it. But for me, at the time, I was a little bit different. I've always been one of those people that really hates with a furious passion what everybody else loves. Everyone loved DBZ, and I was like, oh well, I think it's stupid, even though I haven't actually watched it. I don't like overhyped things. Is what I'm saying. Uh, and I remember hearing about Pokemon actually in kindergarten from a friend of mine who I haven't seen since kindergarten actually, but that's beside the point. And we were like playing handball or whatever, and he was talking me through the theme song, whatever, like just saying it, and I'm kind of all like, okay, that's kind of cool, whatever, let's play ball or whatever. So for me, Toonami and the whole anime thing didn't actually hit me until about the time that I was in like second, third, fourth, or really about fifth grade. Like somewhere around then was when I really got myself into anime, and it was because of Pokemon and Yu-Gi-Oh mainly. Uh, those were kind of like my gateways into it. My best friend at the time, Chris, he was like really into Dragon Ball Z. He was like, "Oh, you should watch! It's so cool!" And he knew like everything about it. You're probably wondering if it's Tommy, but it does because like when I was in fifth grade, uh, like fifth grade, middle school, that was when I discovered Toonami. I watched Rurouni Kenshin and Yu Yu Hakusho and the Gundam shows that were running on Toonami. I remember strongly hating that SD Gundam show just because the Gundams were like moving around and talking like regular people, and there was no one inside it, and the animation was weird. But let's get beside the point. Uh, but so Toonami, I really loved Toonami, and I was pretty down kind of when they took it off the air. Like, uh, I remember distinctly about the time I got into Dragon Ball Z. It was right-ish about the time that the Majin Buu saga started, and they were like advertising the shot of it on Cartoon Network because I was a Disney kid growing up. I loved Disney like no tomorrow. I had like a shitload of the movies, and I'd watch like the Disney Channel and Toon Disney like religiously. But it was about somewhere around there, like when I was watching it, that I discovered Cartoon Network, and of course Cartoon Network had Toonami on it, so that whole thing. So yeah, like I said, I don't want to say I was in like elementary school. So still leaving my old house on campus, but yeah, elementary school is when I really kind of discovered Cartoon Network. But it was like more later into elementary school, started middle school that I really started like really watching Toonami and like getting myself into it and everything. Uh, so yeah, I was pretty downhearted when they got rid of it, and there was like a lot of stuff that really kind of made me mad with kind of what Toonami was kind of doing with some of their anime block and everything. Like I loved watching Rurouni Kenshin. I loved seeing Kenshin all the time. I would be at my babysitter's house most of the time when we'd be playing, and the thing with that was that even though I loved watching Toonami, I didn't actually get to 99% of the time because I was being babysat in a place that was like right down the street from my house with friends. I was responsible enough to really stay at home by myself. So and I have to kind of try to watch it at her place. Whenever like her boyfriend or someone else would come in, they'd be like, "Oh no, this is that Japanese shit. Turn it off and change the channel, whatever." So I couldn't really watch as much as I wanted to. But when I did get to watch it, I enjoyed watching it, and I watched the shit out of it. The thing that really kind of made me mad with Toonami at the time was I remember Yu Hakusho was airing, and it was like Kurama's fight in the finals of the Dark Tournament match, and that never got aired on Toonami at all, to my knowledge. They started right back at the very start of the series the very next day. And so in order to kind of remedy that, like this was also at the time, this was most definitely like 6th grade, and at this time, my friend had told me about Inuyasha, so I was like, I knew what Adult Swim was, and my friend came out was like, oh, it's on Adult Swim, whatever. So I'm like, okay, I can try to stay up late and watch that. And I know you're all wondering, like, how the hell does this pertain to like Toonami's comeback and everything? I'm getting to that. So I really don't think I like when Toonami was dropped from Cartoon Network, it like really hit me like kind of bricks. Like I wasn't like too sad about it because there were still ways for me to watch anime on television. Like I said, growing up, anime like for the earlier part of my childhood, anime wasn't too big of a thing for me. It wasn't until like 5th grade, really, that the anime bomb dropped on me, and I was like, oh my god, Pokemon, Yu-Gi-Oh, Yu Hakusho, already Kenshin, and it was 6th grade when I really, I really have to thank Yu-Gi-Oh really for getting me into manga, actually, because I saw it on the cover of Shonen Jump. It was like it's the very first Shonen Jump I ever got, and it was like the duel between Yugi and Kaiba, and it was like guess who's back, and it was Kaiba. So that was like my whole gateway into anime, and my friend Camille told me about Inuyasha, so I'm like, okay, I'm really psyched, kind of want to see that. But so as this all pertains to Toonami, like I said, I wasn't too explicitly bummed out by them dropping it because there were still ways for me to watch anime, and I just watched like the Insane Game Freak whole thing on the Truth About Toonami thing, and I think I really agree with the fact that the main reason we're getting to the point of this video now. The main reason why Toonami really was so popular at the time it was broadcasting, like when it really first going in those like 11-ish year or whatever years it was going on for. The reason why it was so big is because anime's been part of Japan for like since I want to say like end of World War II-ish, somewhere like that. Uh, but here in America, anime was much less well known, and it was really only because of Toonami that we got this whole wave of like anime and manga fans here in America. And there's nothing wrong with that. I enjoy that, but I think that the goal of Toonami was to introduce a. Oh, I want to say this. I know one of the main reasons why Toonami was so popular with Cartoon Network and why they had running it as long as they did because it made money. People stuck around, they sat through it, they watched whatever the hell they were airing on Toonami. It made money, it got them ratings. But I think like the importance of Toonami is the fact that it got an entire generation into anime, and that's good. If we want anime and manga to really, thrive here in the United States, then we need to be broadcasting anime on television, on televised networks like Cartoon Network. I'll say Nickelodeon. I'll even say, no, I won't say Disney Channel. I won't say anything like that. Cartoon Network, Nickelodeon, and I know ABC and Fox were kind of doing something like that too. But we need to get anime on channels that kids are going to watch, sit their asses down and like watch. And like, I want more of this. This is the kind of stuff that I want to watch. Uh, and it really left a deep impact on all of us. All of us that grew up watching Toonami. I know a lot of others were more sad than I personally was, and sadder than some other people were. But now that coming back, it's coming back on Adult Swim, and I'm doing this today because it's the day before it comes back and everything. So I kind of want to get all my feelings and everything out for that. My thing with Toonami now coming back is that all it really is for the most part is Cartoon Network trying to save themselves from going under. Cartoon Network's been pretty shitty in the last few years, and I will stick to this until the day I die. I do strongly believe that it was because of Naruto appearing on Cartoon Network that the station went started going under, and the shows on Cartoon Network have gotten progressively worse since then. And like now, I remember recently they didn't even show all they showed a lot of cartoons on Cartoon Network, but they had live action shows. You don't do that. Cartoon Network is the network for cartoons. You know, the Flintstones, they had the Powerpuff Girls, they had the Jetsons, they had Scooby Doo, Dexter's Lab, Johnny Bravo, and a bunch of other shit like that. You know, all those great cartoons that we grew up watching, and our parents probably grew up watching too. My mom and dad just didn't remember the Flintstones, the Jetsons, and Scooby Doo, and stuff like that. But so that was the kind of stuff that got Cartoon Network a lot of ratings, and I will definitely stick to the fact that it was around the time that Naruto really hit the air here in America on Cartoon Network that the station, for whatever reason, started to. I will not blame I will not really say just because Cartoon Network aired Naruto, their whole programming thing went into the shitter. I will not say that. I'll say that Naruto's emergence onto Cartoon Network, in a way, somehow kind of brought the network down, because I don't know why Toonami was canceled to begin with, because Toonami got ratings, uh and Toonami was very popular. Toonami is still broadcast, I know, in like several areas in like several different countries around the world. And I think we were just the ones that were stupid enough to drop it. But I do believe that that's the main reason why Cartoon Network is bringing back Toonami, because the whole April Fool's thing on Adult Swim, I kind of want to say that Cartoon Network was, because I don't watch Cartoon Network, I know there are people that do, and people that think differently than I do about it, so I guess it's more like a Toonami Cartoon Network type discussion thingamajig or whatever. Excuse me. Excuse me again. But so I think Cartoon Network kind of knew, we need to do something, because the shit we're doing now isn't working. I guess, you know? And, you know, I know that Nickelodeon kind of, I think, kickstarted this with the whole, showing old things from the 90s. Like, Nick had that whole 90s on Nick or whatever, Nick the 90s or whatever the hell they have going on there. They started showing like all their old shows from like the 90s when a lot of people watching this video grew up and everything. And that's a good thing. I think Cartoon Network was kind of trying to do the same thing with Toonami, and they just kind of realized that, like, oh, people like what we used to do, so let's try to do it again. And, you know, Adult Swim was a pretty good way to do that with the whole April Fool's thing. I don't really watch cartoons very much anymore now. I'm very much strictly into anime, and I watch a few stuff on TNT, but it's mostly anime. But so, well, I guess the question is, am I glad that Toonami is back? Yes, I am glad. I am excited that Toonami is back. I am hyped to watch it. My plan on what for tomorrow night is I will watch whatever they air on Toonami, like as much as I can of it, and I'm just going to mute the TV afterwards and leave it on and go to bed, because Toonami's budget right now is like dirt poor. Like the shit bit of change you have in your pocket is probably the equivalent to what their budget is. So that's why everyone, if you're like on Twitter or whatever, and people these other videos for Toonami, they're saying watch Toonami. They need the ratings. Sit your ass down and watch it if you're a true fan and everything. That's great. I'm a fan. I told my friends about it, and they're like, okay, I'm gonna watch it. Uh, but there is a problem with this, and I'm guessing getting to, like, the crux of this video is the whole anime airing on Toonami thing. The anime that's going to be airing on Toonami, here's the breakdown of the schedule. They're showing Bleach at midnight, Dead Man Wonderland at 12:30, Casshern Sins at 1, Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood at 1:30, Ghost in the Shell at 2, and then Cowboy Bebop at 2:30. And they're repeating this. They were going to repeat the lineup again. Uh, after that's going to start from the top again. Because Toonami's running from midnight to 6 in the morning. So am I excited? Like I said, am I excited that Toonami is back? Yes, I'm excited. Am I excited that it's on Adult Swim of all things, though? Not really. The thing with anime, like a lot of people are going to say, a lot of people have been saying, is that anime was only able to get this really big kick because at the time they were showing it, we didn't have what we have now. We did not have computers. Weren't able to go online and watch anime like we can now. And that is kind of the downside of this whole thing, is that the shows they are broadcasting at the moment on Adult Swim for this whole Toonami thing are shows that, for the most part, everyone has already watched. And then the thing, too, is I don't know anything about Dead Man Wonderland, except how bloody and gore and everything. So I know that that's probably going to have to be censored a lot. And I also know, I kind of looked up on Wikipedia, it's only like 12 episodes, too. So I'm like, you know what? I really would have gotten, like, a much longer running series, Get something like, I don't want to say Inuyasha. I don't want to say Rurouni Kenshin. I don't want to say Yu Yu Hakusho. Get something like Sayuki. Get something like, oh, what's a good one? What's a good one? Drawing a couple of ones. Get something like Blue Exorcist. Get something like Raz the Yokai Clan. Get stuff. Don't just suck the tits of Funimation. Is, I guess, what I'm getting at. Go to like some of the other anime companies. And basically get shit that people haven't already seen, which in this day and age is hard to do because everyone, for the most part, a lot of people I know have seen Dead Man Wonderland. I know it's extremely popular. Like my friend Anna's all over. I know the manga's still running. I know the anime is ended. I have no idea I don't know anything about this Catherine Sins thing, but don't keep airing Bleach, Brotherhood. Get something new, get something fresh, get something that people haven't seen before, and put it on a primetime lineup in the middle of the afternoon, or when people have their eyes glued to the television screen. What we want to do with Toonami is we want to get children, mainly. My thing with anime in the US is that if we want our whole thing to survive, we need to get the little kids into anime at a very early age. But I'm not unhappy with the selections that were made for Toonami. I don't give much of a shit about Bleach at the moment, anyways. I loved the first season, the whole Soul Side thing, and even the Bount arc is the best. Those were like the two best things about Bleach in my mind. But after that, I'm just like, screw that. But I really think that if we're going to, if you're going to air, if we're going to do Tommy on Adult Swim, that's kind of already doing something where it's like, oh, we're only going if people that actually bother to stay up this late every Saturday night. Who's that going to be? It's going to be like teenagers, young adults, people between the ages of between 15 and I'll go on a limb here and say 30. Who will stay up and probably watch Toonami on Saturday night. What Toonami did in the 90s, when I was growing up and when a lot of us were growing up was they put anime on at like 3 o'clock in the afternoon when kids were just getting home from school. And, they had stuff like Sailor Moon, Cardcaptor Sakura, Dragon Ball Z, Rurouni Kenshin, Yu Yu Hakusho, G Gundam, Gundam Seed. I know there was like a shitload of Gundam stuff that ran on Toonami. That we need to keep it on a time slot where a lot of people are watching it, and a lot of kids watch cartoons. It's so and kids. I know a lot of kids love anime. I know like Naruto running on Disney XD and all the whole One Piece and the Big Three crowd. I know a lot of kids love anime. I know a lot of kids watch CW because they have a shitload of anime that they just show in the mornings. So I don't know. I'm excited that Toonami is back. I did want Toonami to come back. I would do my video that Toonami is back. I am excited that it's back. I am happy that it's back. But I do feel that it could have, if we're going to bring it back, we really do need to get some new stuff on there. Get some stuff that the West hasn't already seen. Because, I know a lot of people have seen Dead Man Wonderland in Japanese already. And I don't know. It's hard for me to really just say what it is I thought I'd want from Toonami. I want them back. I want them to show anime. I want them to get people into anime. Because, and here's the really big thing, is that everyone now can just go online and stream anime or just watch it for free on whatever site or torrent or whatever. And people, my main thing with television is that I don't like commercials. And that's what really kills me with television, is that I have to wait through commercials to get to the next part. Which I guess is kind of a goodness of this squid, because it gets people to like you caught up on some dramatic moment, it's like, oh, fuck you, damn it, I have to wait through the commercials, see what the hell happens, come back to it. So, there's that. And I don't know. I'm glad it's back, but I just kind of wish that they were airing it once again on like prime time, where kids are gonna be up and watching television and everything, and not just when like adults, like teenagers and young adults are, on Saturday night kind of doing nothing, whatever. Uh, so, uh, I'm glad Tommy's back. Actually, watch it if you're a real fan of it. But I don't know. I just think that it could be done in a much better way, and not on Adult Swim for one thing, because it's for adults and teenagers. So I don't know. If you have anything, to kind of interject or say or about this whole thing, then post your comments in the section below. And let me know what you think. This has been your flashback, and I'm about to do I'm about to do a review. So there we go. Thanks for watching.